which mark.
I think in promoting the team this year, they can add a little twist to it. They can say, yeah, come watch the Phillies. They fight hard, they play hard, they work hard. And if you also want to catch a WWF act, just look out center field. And you might see some action out there, too, kind of a dual entertainment night for the family.
While Bronya made light of the incident on Tuesday, watching the fourth-inning melee was no laughing matter for the Phillies.
The priority of the ball club is to have a very fan-friendly atmosphere. One of the tough things that happens is that the opening day crowd many times is atypical of what the rest of the year is, and I think we had a number of people that moved to the outfield yesterday probably to find a little sun, and unfortunately a situation developed that we're looking into to make sure it doesn't happen again.
What did happen is that two local rival high schools got into it for several minutes, with punches thrown and bodies flying in the stands. According to reports, no arrests were made.
It seems that there was, rather than just one or two people, that represented a couple of groups of individuals that started out, as I understand, by reports from a taunting situation and then grew from there.
The Phillies president says the club has no intention on setting up a courtroom at the Vet, like the Eagles have done in the past. Aside from Monday's incident, they believe they have a safe, family environment.
If you come to the ballpark 81 times, and I hope we have the same 37,000 fans that were there yesterday back 81 times, my sense is that you will find that to be a very isolated incident.
As for the luncheon this afternoon over
tonight's second home game of the after years of citizens' complaints.
Still nursing a bruised image tonight after a nasty incident at Veterans Stadium. And the action on the field was delayed by an ugly base brawl in the stands, a black eye that has once again thrust the city's rowdy fan image into the national spotlight. David Henry is live now at the Vet, where the Phillies hope tonight's game will be a little more peaceful, a lot more peaceful than the team's home opener.
Yeah, the Phillies are hoping that tonight all of the action takes place on the field instead of in the stands. Now, the spectacle that's seen on Monday has the team, the city, and at least one local high school fretting about public reaction. It's the kind of fan behavior Philadelphia is known for, but this was big enough to interrupt the game as players and the home plate umpires stopped to watch. John Sullivan was there.
It was mostly older people, like there's a lot of graduates from the other schools. They were just starting trouble. They're the ones that start the fight.
Sullivan says his classmates at Monsignor Bonner High School are getting a bum rap. They say it started among graduates of several schools and spilled over into their section. Nonetheless, the school is considering sanctions for the students caught on tape.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed as principal. I was embarrassed as a graduate. And I really wouldn't have, I'd like to take this opportunity to really apologize to the city on behalf of the students and on behalf of their parents for those guys who are involved.
The city has been embarrassed before by scenes like this, but the people who are trying to bring tourists here say it's not the big deal it used to be.
A few years ago, if this happened, I might have been much more worried because we didn't have the convention center, we didn't have so many restaurants and hotels, we didn't have an advertising program, we didn't have so many visitors. So that would have been the only message that was out there.
Levitt says people who saw the fight on sports highlight shows around the country are not likely to make travel plans based on fan behavior. The tourists we found at Independence Mall today were unfazed by the spectacle. Did you reconsider coming here after you saw the Phillies fans fighting in the stands on Monday?
No.
Did you know they were fighting?
No.
Would it change your mind if you knew?
No.
And most said they'd even be willing to take in a Phillies game while they're here. So yeah, it was ugly, but most observers say in the long run it won't do the city or the Phillies much harm. Live at the Vet, I'm David Henry, Channel 6 Action News. Mark?
Well, thank you, David. A former Willingboro police officer is standing trial again.
Look at the ugly scene at Monday's home opener at Veterans Stadium when several fans got into a slugfest in the 700 section. Councilman Jim Kenney says many of the brawlers may have been high school students. He's calling for an investigation to determine if vendors sold beer to minors during that game.
In the Kosovo crisis,
Phillies from taking action. News 10 be different the next time you head out to the ballpark.
Vet brawl. The fight mainly involves students from Monsignor Bonner and St. Joseph's Prep sitting in section 700. The drug and alcohol counselor says the students were consuming beer.
1 and 2 cups in each hand. continuously just drinking beer throughout the whole game. And I was just absolutely appalled that these young kids came to the vet to watch Phillies game and took advantage of getting served.
Some students told News 10 it's easy to get beer at the vet. Stadium officials deny any wrongdoing. Police just told News 10 there will be no criminal charges filed in this case. A deadly explosion.